What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and happy Wednesday to all of you out there. In today's video, we are going to be going over the latest release notes that are over on the official forums for the EX Volume 6 update, because these dropped a day early. They dropped yesterday, and so that means I'm a day late. What can you do? But we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it because there is a lot to talk about today. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys haven't already done so, you smash that like button and subscribe. And let's just go ahead and get into the news. And as always, I will have links in the description to all of this. So the first thing that you guys are going to want to be aware of is that there is going to be a maintenance, just like with any large update. This is going to be later on this evening. Now this is going to be around 10 p.m. for myself. You guys will have to adjust accordingly for your time zone, so that way you guys don't miss out on any of your dailies. Make sure that you get your dailies done early, right? So this is going to be a maintenance, and as far as why we're getting a maintenance, well, we are going to be getting a maintenance because we are getting a huge update, right? There are a lot of in-game events, there's some new characters, some new cards, etc. So let's talk about the characters first here. So the first up here, I'm just going to go ahead and play this, not going to play the audio. So when it comes to this trailer here, a lot of people have been talking about the fact that Athena is going to be changing costumes with some of these skills. However, this looks like it's more so going to just be an animation, right? It's not going to really donate anything to any type of gameplay from what we can tell. But as you guys can see, there's a couple of different costume changes with her skills. And when it comes to the KOF 15 version of Athena, I've already told you guys I'm a huge fan of this design. I'm not an Athena fan, but I'm a fan of this design. I like this design, but with that said, I'm skipping her, so it is what it is. But overall, she has everything that you would come to expect from Athena. She has some costume changes in there, which honestly I think is probably just an homage to the fact that she is based on and an idol. So being that she is an idol character, the whole pop star changing costume thing, I think that that's really what they're going for here. But I could be wrong. There could be gameplay elements to that. We'll have to wait and see, but it doesn't appear as if there's really much there. Outside of this core finisher being kind of unique, I don't really see much unique stuff going on with this kit on a surface level, but it's very hard to tell based on just what we see in this trailer. And then of course we have the latest lady character, which is Lady Chin. We already predicted this based on the silhouette. This character looks like it is going to be very adorable, but this also looks like it's going to be a character that's going to deal improper dot damage, which this time around looks like it's going to be a burn dot, which is a very popular dot for Netmarble, so it would not surprise me, and it makes sense for a character like Chin to have it. But when it comes to Lady Chin, there's really not a whole lot here outside of that we can really derive. It does appear as though that this is going to be, like I mentioned, a burn-based character. It is going to be a lady character. It's going to be a very fun lady character, like most of them are. But overall, we're just going to have to wait and see just what these characters bring along with them whenever we get the actual kits, because there isn't a whole lot in this trailer we can really tell much of outside of those things. So there you have it, you guys. That's going to be the character trailer. We can just go ahead and move on here. Now, of course, the characters' typings are revealed here. We have a yellow balance type for Athena. We have a red defense here for Chin. So not much to talk about there. When it comes to the cards, pretty much status quo. We're going to be getting one option card, the two finishers, and then the new card set. So that's what we've got there. When it comes to the cards, we are going to have those three types that we can get for our cards. So we can get the attack, skill, or critical damage effect on these. So that's really nice. And then we have some more card sets that are going to be part of events. So this one here is going to be our Rush Dungeon set. You can tell from the pixelated art, which has been a theme lately, and I am very thankful for it. And then we have this set here. Now this set here is actually going to be a premium set. This is going to be a set kind of like what we had whenever we had the last lady character, where we had Lady Choi and we had a card set in the shop. We are getting a card set in the shop along with this one as well. So this is going to be the Across the River of Chocolate set. Time will tell just how good or bad this set will be. This is going to be a very nice card art on this set. But outside of that, I am going to be very curious what it's going to do, because honestly, I'm really hoping it's not anything that's must have, because having to pay actual money for a card set, A lot of people would be pretty upset if it were something they had to have, because the last one wasn't that way. It was one that was kind of just like a bonus thing that was nice to have if you wanted it, but it wasn't like a must thing. So let's hope it is the case this time around as well. They reiterate here all the different things that are going to be available for banners, and that's pretty much what we got for EX Volume 6. Other things in here, we are going to have new imprint stones. So we are going to have Volume 6 imprint stones, as well as the Star and Moon Psycho Soldier imprint stones in the crafting event. So pretty status quo. And then we have, obviously, some change-up kits and some Prime Memories coming our way. So basically, the Prime Memories are going to be added in for Athena, as well as Lady Chin. So that is going to be what we're going to be getting there as far as those are concerned. You'll be able to pick those up same as usual. So that's that. We have a new season of Chapter of Fight, so you'll be able to pick up some extra hammers and rubies every day again. And then we have a new login bonus. So the new login bonus is going to have several different items that you're going to need for all these different events. Specifically speaking, the crafting event, because these are going to be items here you'll need for that. Otherwise, this is pretty much just standard fare and not much to talk about outside of the pumpkins and these little medallions here. So other things, we are going to get a new mini dungeon. This is going to be the Smash the Halloween Cake mini dungeon. Should be a very easy one, and it shouldn't be anything that is going to be too difficult for anybody out there. The recommended CP is only 6,000, which in this day and age is literally absolutely nothing. So the event codex we're also going to have here, so this is returning as well. We're going to be able to pick up, obviously, our stones this way through building the 2 characters. Yes, there are only 2 characters this time around, so you're not necessarily going to be able to just jump into the tower with a free character and get some free rewards or anything like that. Unfortunately, you are going to need to invest on the banner if you're wanting to play some of this stuff or get some of this stuff. And this time around, the EX stones, you're going to have to pull on that banner if you want those and build those characters. So other things here, the crafting event we already mentioned. We'll talk more about it when we get to the separate notice. The challenge dungeon I just mentioned briefly there, but the tower is returning. You are only going to be able to use the 2 aforementioned characters on the banner. So like I said, you're not going to have a freebie option to get in here, unfortunately. And they do reiterate that in a separate notice. We have a Popstar versus Popstar gift event. Another thing we'll talk more about in the separate notice, a team co-op event. Again, we'll talk more about, but this is really cool because you guys know me. I really was hoping the co-op would return, and I'm curious how this one is going to be implemented, but time will tell. A new rush dungeon, a new battle pass, new packages, all sorts of stuff, you guys. We're going to talk more about all those events in a minute, but real quick, I just want to point out the packages here for that aforementioned card set. So I had mentioned that, so you are going to be able to get that in here. It's going to be in this Halloween special shop. So right here, you guys will see, select one from below. You get these guys here. You can either pick a BS or an SS Fighter memory selector, but you do get the first piece of the card set here, as well as some selection boxes for some capsules, and then so on and so forth if you want the other pieces of that aforementioned set. And that is pretty much what we've got going on there. So other things in here that are kind of buried real quick, we are going to get new levels of Tower of Trials. We're going to be getting floors 90 through 120 added. This is kind of a whatever to me because, to be honest, this is going to be something that I'd imagine for most players out there is going to be kind of a pipe dream, and it's going to be a long game type thing. It's going to be end game material for them. But I'm still kind of a little bit on the fence with this, only because it does kind of suck that I know that we're never going to be able to play, like, so for instance, against the current Tower Trial level 90. If I can talk today, we're not going to be able to ever play that one again because you can't go back and play the levels, which is kind of lame. So, but it is what it is. We're getting more levels, means more rubies, so you can't really complain too much. But I would like to see them add that functionality. So if Netmarble, if you're listening, if you'd let us go back and play separate floors again, that would be really cool. So anyway, you guys, that's pretty much what we got there. Let's move to the in-game event notice, because again, we got a lot to talk about. So we've already talked about the login. I'm not going to keep going in about that. This is going to be your gift event. So there's going to be a world drop event, you guys, where you're going to be able to pick up the items for this. They're going to mention that in here, and we're going to be talking about that when it comes to this notice. But as you guys can see, there's going to be this one here, and then there's going to be this one here, and you're just going to be feeding these items down here to this thing in order to get the rewards, right? So we don't really obviously know what are going to be all the rewards that we're going to be able to pick up as we go through and collect more of these things. Time will tell, but we do see the pumpkins here, so that is at least one item we're aware of for level 1, but we'll have to wait and see what else is going to be there. But those pop star cakes, those chocolates, and those heart letters are going to be something we're going to talk about when we get to this guy here, which is of course going to be the World Drop event. Now, this World Drop event is going to drop the Halloween gift item mystery boxes, which is going to be how we're going to get those 3. And with that being said, you play the Battle Card Dungeon, the Hall of Elements, the Fighter Advent Dungeon, the Epic Advent Dungeon, or the League match, which is interesting. League is actually going to be giving these out. But with that said, this should be a very easy one. Honestly, most people are probably going to be able to grind out what they need for this very quickly. So with that being said, I think that this is going to be a fine world drop. It just is kind of unfortunate that they're using a world drop for this, because typically speaking, world drops are actually going to be something that gives some really, really cool rewards, or we have something really cool we're working toward. So maybe there are some cool items in here for the rewards for these bars for this gift event. We just don't know what they are yet. So we're gonna have to wait and see on that, but it is an interesting way to get those items, and I will say I'm not going to complain about it because it should be very easy. So that is that. When it comes to this Smash the Halloween Cake event, again, going to be super easy, super simple. I get the feeling most people will get through that without even a semblance of an issue. So I'm not really going to go in on that. Now, when it comes to this co-op dungeon, I'm going to say less when it comes to this, just because I want to wait and see how this is going to work. I'm really not entirely sure how this is going to play out. So with this being said, it is a new event where you clear missions and accumulate team points to obtain rewards. They do mention that greater rewards await for those with higher rankings within the team. Users of the same server are going to be on a team. So again, guys, I don't really know what all this is going to entail. You do see some of the rewards here. There's obviously more as they go through here, so I'm curious what the final rewards are, but time will tell. I'm going to wait and see on this. There's no way of knowing how this is going to work out, and honestly, the biggest question mark is going to be if it's a proper co-op mode, how the connectivity is going to work out with it. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic. If you guys have been watching my channel the past couple of weeks, I've actually talked about co-op modes and how I wanted them in the game. But this one here, I'm not sure how it's going to work yet, so I'm just going to take the cautiously optimistic approach and wait for it to be implemented. So when it comes to the Rush Dungeon, we do have a new Rush Dungeon, not much to talk about there. We've already seen the card art, so we don't need to go back in on that. The tower, again, they do mention here that you're going to be able to play this with the new characters from the banner right here. So yes, again, you guys, you are not going to be able to go in with anybody else, which is unfortunate. So if you don't get lucky enough to get one of the characters, you cannot play this tower, which kind of sucks. So they've been very, very generous lately with free characters. I wish they'd have continued that, but beggars can't be choosers, right? So the event codex, again, guys, we've already talked about. We don't need to go in on that again. Crafting event, this time we get to see this. Now, there is going to be a way to craft a ticket for a Halloween fighter selector. So that is going to be really cool. I believe it's the pumpkins that you use that are used for that to craft that thing. So with that said, a Halloween fighter selection ticket is nice because you're, I'd imagine, going to have characters on there like the Gate Crashers and so on and so forth. So that'll be really cool. But outside of that, I really don't think it's going to be anything that's really relevant because, let's face it, those characters really aren't relevant. So it is what it is. As far as what else is in here, pretty standard stuff. But overall, guys, you guys know what the drill is when it comes to these. I don't think you need me to go in on that. It's pretty obvious what we're going to be getting there because we get crafting events almost with every update. Other things in here, the new battle passes, pretty much standard. Again, people are wondering where the heck the Rush Dungeon skip functionality went. I'm curious about that myself, but it is not there. And these are pretty much your standard overall passes. There's really not much there. I'm reading through it. Yeah, it's all the same stuff, guys. So yeah, if you want to buy that big one, go for it. There's value there, but it is what it is. They're all the same. So that's that, you guys. Again, we're getting chapter fight, and that's pretty much what we got there. So other miscellaneous things, and if it seems like I'm moving fast, it's because I am, but there's a lot to get into because there's more information besides this. But that's the update, you guys. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think about the update. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag. There's some things in there I'm really cautiously optimistic about, like the co-op mode. I'm just hoping that this stuff works, right? So as far as other things in here, they do mention Dymos Base Season 6 is coming out with this, and there are changes that are coming, right? So this is actually going to be coming at a little bit later date. It's going to be starting on 10/30, so you guys can see that there. But when it comes to this, they're making changes, right? So the changes are right here. They're increasing the recommended combat power. So you'll see for Tier 1, it has been raised by a whopping, like, it's tripled, quadrupled almost. And then the final tier, you are going to need an extra basically 50, 60,000 CP. So the problem with this is they're also going to be making changes in the season when it comes to a weakening effect to our fighters' HP recovery, and they're not giving us any new rewards, right? So all this stuff is happening to make this more difficult, but we're not getting new rewards. And so that just kind of feels pretty lame to me. If we were trying to get like some sort of EX memory or something, that'd be one thing, but like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we bothering tinkering with this? This thing has been in a fine spot. I don't think we need to go in and do this, but they do continue to dick with it. Stop picking at it. It's going to get infected. So anyway, they keep doing stuff to Deimos Base. This time around, we'll have to wait and see how many people it pisses off, because it seems like it's like every couple of months they change Deimos Base and piss a bunch of people off, and then they have to go back and change it, and just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. But anyway, that's what we got there. If you're gonna mess with it, at least give us better rewards. So, other things in here. We do have these little introduction sheets to the new characters. I'm not going to talk about these too much, but I just wanted to mention them briefly. If you guys want to read through these, go right ahead. You do get a better look at some of the art there for the characters, so that's cool. But it's really not anything that is that important. I just figured I'd throw it in there. But that's going to be what we get with the update, you guys. So again, this stuff comes later on this evening. Make sure that you get all of your dailies done accordingly. All the stuff for these event notices we just talked about will be coming out. And then when it comes to Deimos Base, that is scheduled to come out on 10/30. And then we, of course, are going to be talking about EX Volume 6, the fighters, and the cards in tomorrow's video. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that the card set isn't anything I absolutely need, so I can just skip everything and not have to worry about it and just use my free rubies. But time will tell, you guys. But anyway, you guys let me know in the comment section down below what you think about all this stuff. Like, share, and subscribe on your way out, and I will talk to you all in the next one. You all take care. Peace.
Continue.